Let's give you the markets update now. The JSE tracking firmer global peers on Monday as markets attempt a rebound ahead of the Federal Reserve monetary policy meeting and the local medium-term budget policy statement this week. Well, for a quick overview of how things are shaping up at the JSE, we're joined now by the head of equity research at FNB Wealth and Investments, Chantal Marx. Chantal, good morning to you. It's a Tuesday, a very happy Tuesday, by the way, for those at the airport. But you and I have also got to deal with reality and the markets. Talk to us about how they're shaping up in early trade.
Well, so far this morning, it hasn't been too happy on the local markets. It's early days still, and we have seen a little bit of volatility at the start. But we are seeing the resources sector come under quite a bit of pressure, and that is due to disappointing factory data or PMI data, which kind of tells you what the manufacturing sector mood is at the moment out of China. So because of that, the expectation is, or the feeling is, that China could be under pressure still, and that would be bad for commodity prices. And of course, the China-facing stocks that we have on the JSE are heavyweights. I mean, we're talking about Richemont, Prosus, Naspers, and most of the big miners. So that really dragging down the overall index today.
Let's talk about the Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana. He will tomorrow deliver that all-important medium-term budget policy statement. What do investors, ratings agencies need to hear from this speech?
I think prudence on National Treasury's part, because what we are faced with at the moment is a bit of a miss in terms of tax receipts. So that means our income is under pressure, and then also pressure on the expenses line. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be financed at the moment. I mean, we know that Transnet is asking for money. We know that there's still issues at Eskom and a variety of other SOEs. So what ratings agencies and investors want to know is how we're going to balance this and how we're going to kind of manage our finances so that we still at some point stabilize our debt, which is continuing to climb and remaining a concern to investors and ratings agencies alike.
Let's talk company news. Woolworths publishing a voluntary announcement. Talk us through that announcement. What exactly do they say?
So it's a voluntary announcement because it's not a big transaction, but they've announced that they've acquired Absolute Pets, or a majority stake in Absolute Pets. And those are pet stores, and I know that they have salons and clinics as well across South Africa, about 150 of them. Now, what we really like about this is the fact that Woolworths is utilizing some of their cash to make acquisitions that is complementary and perhaps slightly different, but makes sense within the broader Woolworths stable. And it's a small acquisition, so execution risk is relatively small. We know that Shoprite has also been pushing its pet offering. So I think that this would provide Woolworths with a really good footprint in a market that is still growing.
Let's conclude the conversation with Asal Foods. It has a trading statement out. Help us make sense of their forecast. How bad are things there?
Yeah, so Asal Foods is going to slump to a loss for the period under review. And I think given what we know around the avian flu outbreak across South Africa and the impact that has had, both on costs as well as their ability to actually supply birds into the market, it is absolutely no surprise. I think what will be interesting here is to see how they are going to recover from this. This is a really large company. Their management team is extremely experienced. It's not the first time that they face something like this. But I think that the market will still react negatively, even though it was fully expected.
Chantal Marx, head of equity research at FNB Wealth and Investments. Thank you very much for that market update.